Fiji, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand. I have you dreaming of your next vacation, don't I? Don't pack your bags just yet. From now until September 29th, UBC's Museum of Anthropology is your personal ticket to the Pacific Islands with Paradise Lost, an exhibit of 28 beautiful art installations by 13 very talented artists. I'm Melissa Dawson for City Lights on Novus TV. Let's get tropical. First time in my life, I'm honestly a little bit speechless. Everything in here is so beautiful. So since I am speechless, can you tell me a little bit about the exhibit?
Well, the exhibit's called Paradise Lost, and it's a great title because it doesn't exist in a gallery. It's all over the museum. So it's sort of lost in the sense that you actually do have to find it. So we give you a map with little dots on, and you walk through the museum and you find these amazing installations that are done by contemporary artists from the Pacific.
So it's all about the Pacific. Are we going to be seeing palm trees and depictions of sunshine or something a little more eclectic and unique?
Well, we're certainly not going to see palm trees and sunshine or ladies under waterfalls or large flowers stuck in hair. And in fact, the whole point of the exhibit is to get rid of that stereotype, which even today, if you see the Survivor series, you know what they call, when the guys go on the islands and pretend to be tribes, or you read a cruise ship a cruise ship pamphlet, and it says.
You mean that's not real?
No, it's not. Well, it sort of is on one level, but it isn't what it's all about. So this exhibition is actually the artists themselves are taking on that concept, and they're laughing at it, inverting it, criticizing it, challenging it, and so forth. So sometimes the work is very, very strongly cultural. This is who we are. We are not tiki, lovely palm tree type people. And others say, actually, we are very complex, so we're not going to make it easy for you to understand that. So there's the dimensions that we're dealing with.
Wait, we're actually standing in front of one of the installations right now, so tell me a little bit about what's behind us.
The work behind us is by a marvelous young artist called Pax Jakupa, and he comes from a small village in the highlands of Papua New Guinea. And if you look at his art, it is so bright. And one thing about the Pacific is the colors are always incredibly bright. You know, when you buy that shirt in the Pacific and you come back and you go, oh, I can't wear it, where's my black? Well, in Papua New Guinea particularly, they have adopted these incredibly bright colors. But if you go beyond that, if you look at what he's doing, he's actually saying, this is my culture, this is my everyday life, this is what matters to us, and we know the world is changing so fast that we have to work really, really hard to hang on to what is important.
You are doing a very good job of talking it up. So what do you say you actually show me some of these fine pieces of work?
No problem.
All right, let's go. Well, Carol, you were not kidding. These are absolutely beautiful. Tell me a little bit about them.
Aren't they incredible? There's 3 of them shown here, and in fact there's 4 in the set. They're made by a wonderful young artist called Terongo Kirkwood. And depending on, she talks about them as the morning, midday, sort of late afternoon, and then evening. But you can also see them as adolescence, early life, midlife, and then the end of your life. And what she's doing, she talks about the traditional Maori cloak, worn by women and men and people of high status, and she's using that and transforming it into these unbelievable cloaks that, as you can see, are made of cold cast glass feathers.
How long did it take her to do this? I'm just trying to even count how many pieces of glass that is.
You know, that's a question I've never asked her. That's a brilliant question.
I've stumped you.
You did. I do know that, however, she worked with weavers, and each cloak is woven traditionally, and then she applies the glass feathers to it. So in the beginning, you see there's very few glass feathers. And that means, in the beginning we don't know too much. There's just a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of wisdom. And as you go through life, you acquire more. And you can see by the red cloak how powerful it is. And that's your middle life. That's when you've got it organized and you're strong and you speak out loud. And then as you move through life, the shape changes and the feathers get dark, but they turn into a bird, and it's a flight and freedom from all the other things of life, which comes to you only in your later years. It's a very powerful piece.
I know you have a lot of artists actually coming to Vancouver, which is amazing. But there was also a special installation, right, that you didn't really know about until the very last minute?
Yes, there was that.
No stress at all.
The wonderful thing about working with artists, you actually never know quite what they're going to do, and you have to just open as much as you can. We work in a museum, so we have rules and we have security and we have all sorts of things. But when George and Corey decided that they wanted to do something really special, and it was out of styrofoam, I think there's a point when, as a curator, you just stand back and let it happen. And as you can see, it happened. And I have to say, it's turned into quite a signature piece. It's absolutely amazing.
First of all, George, you are basically a walking canvas yourself. Absolutely beautiful artwork all over you, but let's talk about this masterpiece behind us.
This box is, from what I gather, is the sides of the box are self-portraits of Corey and I. That's what I'd like to think. And Corey and I have discussed this at length, and how we are depicting ourselves as creators.
So there are 6 sides to that box. Which 3 sides represent yourself?
The 3 top sides would be mine. Again, I've been practicing Haida form line since 2006, so that would be representing my family roots of Haida Nation.
And yourself, George?
I'm the opposite faces with the tattoos like mine, and the way the box is configured that both Corey and I face each other. So at any given side, there's a Māori face facing a Haida face. Yeah, to create the cube.
It looks like such a collaborative piece up there, but I understand you guys just met. Is that right?
Yes, we met just over a week ago. Yeah, it's been an amazing trip. I wasn't actually expecting to collaborate with George. We spoke maybe the second night, and he had asked me to participate in this project, and the fact that it's in MOA is just the largest platform I've ever worked on. So I'm really excited about collaborating with George. It was an honor to work with him. Amazing, an amazing journey.
So if you have no time for that exotic getaway, don't you fret one bit. Details on how you too can find paradise right here in Vancouver can be found at moa.ubc.ca. For City Lights on Novus TV, I'm Melissa Dawson.